Hello everybody and welcome in. I just wanted to do a video today because I had an investor and a friend come in from out of town and wanted to buy some of my more upscale or what I consider luxury goods based on materials and based on price point. And I wanted to do this video while I had these items out on my table. So it was kind of a video of opportunity today, if you will, and also discovery, and maybe some of the key facts that I look for when I'm dealing with resale. I will be taking these items to a local show that is known for kind of higher end, and I never want to leave anyone out in my being, I guess, having a customer be able to purchase from me. I never want to leave anybody out. So I pulled these aside, and I thank you all so much for joining me. I want to get right into it because I feel this is important to show some of the higher end items, and I will kind of talk about maybe the investment part of something or maybe the resale value of a few of these, but this is 14 karat gold and a beautiful diamond. I believe that to be probably around 60 points, so just over half a carat, and it might be closer to 70 points. I didn't measure this one just yet, but the scintillation and the fire and the dispersion of that diamond was wonderful. I loved the way it was framed artistically in this open cross design, high polished on the top, and then internally has that kind of matte finish or textured finish on the inside, which really makes that diamond pop out. I guess this video will also discuss some of the design aesthetics that I personally look for in the items that I purchase to then sell to the general public. I've always tried to base my items on resale on artistry, on design, on quality, and craft. So I didn't buy on maker and signature, and I've said that before in other videos, but I wanted to reinforce that because the good news is a lot of new viewers are coming to my channel and wanted to see some of, the items from my collection and then also the things that I resell. This was in a discovery video. Probably I think it was one of my YouTube shorts, which if you're not familiar with the short feeds on YouTube, just go over across the top of this video and you'll see the long feed videos, and then you'll see something else, and then you see short feeds. Click on that and then scroll down and you can replay or play those on a loop. Very easy to watch. They're very limited in time, like maybe each one is between 15 seconds and about a minute. So it doesn't take long to watch those. But again, artistry in this textured sterling silver disc with these beautiful 18 karat gold, almost underwater tendrils in 18 karat gold. I usually don't like mixing metals. I'm not a fan of putting yellow gold and silver together. That's just a personal taste. There's a lot of people that love it. So I've often said, if I only bought what I liked, I would be out of business. And it's truthful. There are some dealers and some resellers that struggle to sell because they only buy what they personally like. So maybe they only like, chunky and big and bold. Well, not everybody likes that. Some people like delicate. Some people like airy. Some people like feminine. Some people like masculine. There's a whole bunch of different tastes in the world. And I've always tried to find pieces that to me kind of bridge the gap for different buyers and different consumers, and this was ideal. It's the right size, a beautiful form, the artistry, it's handmade, those are natural rubies, and it is signed 18 karat sterling silver. And why I showed this one in the YouTube short feed was because they had these things, quote, looked at by a certified gemologist and a jeweler. Well, that didn't scare me off because this is only $30. Retail on this out at a show would be around $285 to around $325. So how much did this expert, how much did this gemologist really know? Apparently they didn't know that that was solid 18 karat gold. It's not arrogant for me to say it that way, but it's truthful. So they missed the boat on this. And that's why I go to these resale shops all the time. I feel it important to find these pieces and then to market them and to find them a home. So from $30, to $285, and on a bad day, $250, so that's still going to make a good amount of profit. Why I show you this pendant is I've often said to people, they have asked me very frequently, what do you sell the most of? What is the most common thing for you to sell? That is, you've got to kind of hone it in a little bit better for that question because, are you asking vintage or antique? Are you asking diamonds or costume? Are you asking silver or gold? In this instance, why I show this is a very easy sell for me. It's gold, so intrinsically it's worth, a fair amount of money in its weight and its quality. And these are beautiful diamonds. More simply put, why I sell these so frequently is because a necklace is much easier to buy than a ring, because ring is a certain size, ring is a certain style, ring is a certain feel. When you're buying things for a gift, this is a very easy gift to give. So a lot of times people will come into the shows and they'll say, I want to buy a ring. And then and then I ask them, well, what size is she or what size is he? And they go, I don't know. And I go, well, we can't really go there because then you have to get it sized. And if it doesn't fit right away. Necklaces and pendants are very easy to sell. So I've told kind of like, I don't want to say novice or just beginning. I like that. Just beginning dealers, I would recommend that they start with like pendants or even brooches, pins, because it doesn't need to be a certain size. I digress. This is 14 karat white gold. This is 14 karat yellow gold. And these diamonds are just absolutely beautiful. So when you're looking at diamonds, look for the quality of the stones as well. Color, clarity, cut, and size of the stones. The 4 C's very much so indicate what would sell and what wouldn't. These are very lovely stones. I would guess they're probably SI1, SI2, and probably GHI in color. I know that's kind of a lot to digest, and we'll get into, grading diamonds and taking a look closer, but those are very lovely stones. Are they the world's finest? No. Are they really lovely? Yes. And that one may have been replaced because you can see the quality is slightly different, in that one. So that's much more clear than the rest of them, but I wish I could get better lighting on this one because those are very beautiful. Hopefully you can see how beautiful, but that's a classic example of a necklace that would sell very, very quick. Why I bring these on is I'm going to skip over another necklace because I reached for these diamond stud earrings. Very easy to sell. When you go to a retail store, these diamond studs in this carat weight would probably be, I don't know why this won't focus. Here I go with the focus problem, and then all you see is the dust and lint all over the black velvet. So it wouldn't be a Jason video if there wasn't dust in it. But look at the way that those stones are cut, and I wish that I could go in on this. I don't know why it's fighting with me so bad. It is fighting with me bad. Unfortunately, we can't. No, it's not going to do it. Look how. It's like, nope, not going to do it. I'll hold them here. I'll hold them from a mile away. But you can see how beautiful that the quality of the stones are. Again, not the best diamonds in the world, but set in 14 karat gold. I bought these for. At an antique mall, I bought these for $100. They knew they were diamonds, and they knew that they were 14 karat gold. But they didn't really do their research. I would say on the secondary market at one of my shows, I could easily get $300 to $350 for these. So the profit margin is well over double my money. Doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you have that moment when you can do this. And when I do, I take advantage of it. In the retail store, these would be around $750 to $850 for that size and that quality. Okay, so, again, resellers can usually beat retail by a mile. And I always tell people that. Let me show you. We'll stay with pendants just because that's kind of the row in which I have these. And I so appreciate you bearing with me. But again, while I have these items available, I wanted to show you some of my higher end items that I take to the local shows, And why I bring this on is hopefully you walk away with something from this video, whether you learn something about colored stones, or you learn something about diamonds, or you learn something about intrinsic value of gold, resale, a little tip, a little trick. I try and offer something in every video, and if you're not familiar with my channel, if you want to go back and watch my past videos, it really does help me out. 14 karat gold mirrored box chain, but what I was more focused on is this London blue topaz. Absolutely exquisite, dark Caribbean blue with this halo of diamonds, and look how dramatic that bail is. Once again, it's about design, and it is about the craft of this. Stones are impeccable. Craft is absolutely beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful condition on this as well. Signed 14 karat gold. There's the maker's mark. Not sure exactly who the designer was, and I don't, I hope people don't ever get offended. I really didn't care who the designer was. I based this purchase on the beautiful colored stone and then also this overall design. That's everyday wear. So when someone's looking for a gift, this would be one of the first things that will sell at one of my sales. And I can say, I would say a strong, I don't know, probably 4 out of every 5 necklaces that I take to shows actually sell. I don't go home with very many of them. That's just what's in vogue right now. In 6 months, I might sell out of rings. And there's an ebb and flow in the business of desirability and what people are looking for. That one, I would say retail in a store on that kind of chain, you're looking in the $900 range, $900 to $1,000 because of the quality. I'm going to offer that for around $375, maybe $350. I think it will sell very quickly because it's very heavy metal, very thick, very robust, and 14 karat gold. Gold's just going up, up, up. It's not slowing down at all. Why I want to show you these is when I've been asked about gemstone beads, this necklace is very unusual. I go to the gem shows very frequently. And I see a lot of gemstone beads at the gem shows. They're kind of, everywhere when you go. Why I knew this was more important was the high carat gold clasp. So that's very high carat gold. See how yellow and buttery and beautiful and lush. So that's either, it's 20 or 22 karat gold. And then all soldered shut. The construction is all soldered shut on these. Look at that clasp. And then this is spaced with the most beautiful, beautiful faceted, light pink, what I consider ruby, and I've covered it before. Some people will say that these are pink sapphire because they say rubies have to be red, and when they're more pink, we consider them pink sapphires. Spaced with high karat gold beads, clearly beaded and manufactured in India. Very, very lush and very regal and very beautiful, but this takes a very sophisticated buyer to understand the value of 3 strands of these beads, plus the high karat gold clasp, and then the high karat gold beads. Retail on that one, if you were going to a jewelry store, you could see it out for $1,500. Maybe on a sale day, you could get it for $1,000. I would offer this for around, I'm going to say around $400, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but you can't get these gemstone beads wholesale at the gem shows for less than $100 a strand. So you're already at $300. How much is a high carat gold high carat clasp gonna cost? So be on the lookout for that. And this isn't signed at all. There's no gold hallmarks on this at all. You just have to have an eye for the quality of the metal. And I always tell people, take the chance, What's the worst that could happen? I think I paid $90 for this. They had a feeling about it. They just didn't know exactly what they had. Same situation here. These have been with me for quite some time, and these are going to be very camera shy. You're going to say to me, oh, those are hematite beads. No, these are Boulder opal beads. These are genuine opal, and look at those little windows that show that blue, lime green, lush red. I had another strand of these in a past video. I got very fortunate to find a second strand. That's a gigantic, wonderful 14 karat gold clasp and finished very beautifully. I would say this much on this. Quality you could find, well, yeah, I could say this carefully. Quality you could find better. Opal beads are already very difficult to find because they don't do it very often. Hopefully you can pick up that color saturation. On the other ones that I showed, they were very camera shy. These are not as camera shy. It would take a very special buyer to consume these. It would take an advanced collector of gemstones to love these. These were very affordable. I don't want to say what I paid because I am going to put these out for sale. I would say say carefully, I'm going to try and get between $600 and $800 for these. So, again, I could probably take as low as 400, and I could probably put them out as much as 1200, and they might sit for a while. I've talked about the slow dime or the fast nickel. It depends on your business model. And I've covered some things, like some things I will let sit longer than others. There you can pick up that effervescence of, look at those opal beads. Look at that. And when I look at them close, then I think, no, I think I was too low on price. Once you look at them up close and you see the quality of those natural opals, think about how many times you've seen opal beads. Hardly ever. They just don't exist that often. Look at this one right here. Is that not the most beautiful little out-of-this-world galaxy planet? It's just exceptional. So yeah, those I loved, and why I showed those two is they were really misidentified. Why I bring this on is I guess I'd like to, someone asked me to do a comparison contrast with pearls, and I'll start with these two. I only brought out three. I'm going to do a video devoted to pearls because I've been asked to do so. I am by no means a gemologist, but I will tell you the very limited knowledge I have. I think that these are Tahitian. Again, I'm going to do a little further research. These are cultured. I believe that these are Tahitian on both strands. I priced these for $2,000. Why I wanted to bring these on, and they almost sold, by the way. Why I wanted to bring these on is, look at that beautiful natural color. And I wish I didn't put them in all together. Let me see if I could block the background out of that blue and red. Look at the color of these. Steely cloud-like gray. Almost a creamy white, a very yellow overcast, and then this greenish kind of peacock color on that one. A very large and very sophisticated 14 karat gold clasp. I show these because, yes, back in the day when I bought these, they were sold as costume. They missed the 14 karat gold hallmark on the clasp, and I did buy these for $10. So this is a home run. I almost sold them for the $2,000. And what I loved about these is they slightly graduate larger down here and slightly smaller up here. I believe the millimeter starts at about 8 right here and goes to about 10 or 12 right here. So very gradual, very beautiful, but I brought these on because the quality isn't as good. The clasp is a little more clumsy. It is 14 karat gold in that kind of bean shape. Very beautiful nonetheless, but you can see how these lean more yellow. They have that kind of yellow or ivory cast to them, and then the gradation isn't as graceful as these. I'm going to take these two bags out because we're getting a lot of feedback on the color. There we go. Now you can see the difference. See, the ones on the right are higher quality. The ones on the left are lower quality. Let me lay them side by side. And, this is the way I've learned. Someone said, well, you should have been a gemologist. I said to them, I didn't need to go to school because I had the practical hands-on guide. I wasn't trying to be, nasty or arrogant. I said, I just had the hands-on. You could see the difference. Lower quality, higher quality. Look at the luster on this. And I hope it picks up in the camera for you. The luster is much brighter on these. These are dull. These are a little lacking. See how the nacre or the luster is lower on these, and this is higher on these? Look at the size of the pearls. Look at that gentle gradation of how this is almost harmonious. And it's, what do I say? There's like this beautiful dance that happens amongst the colors there. Look at this as a little less sophisticated. The size gradation. This is slightly less. This is slightly more. I hope you can see the difference. And if I could, do a blind thing, like put one on one and one on the other and say which one's which, you would already know. You would already know that these were the better. You can see that difference in luster. You can almost see, I wish I could take these outside to show you the difference, but you can see that these are better. Not by a mile, but most certainly better. And I'm sure that you all can pick that up. So I say on those, around 2,000. On these, I'd be lucky on this strand to get, I'd be lucky to get 400, maybe, conservatively, between 400 and 600 on this one. On the lowest end on this one, I would take 1,500 on that one. So, but they're beautiful and they're lovely. And someone had asked, can you show us a little bit more about pearls? And I will get into a video completely devoted to pearls. Why I show you this one is, this is kind of like the Queen Mother. I consider these South Sea pearls, and I was asked, by my mom today, she said, can you please bring this on by itself and do a video all about this necklace on its own? And I said yes. These were sold as costume to me. I bought these in Mansfield, Ohio, and they were sold as costume. So a very large 14 karat gold, sophisticated clasp. I think it's signed, let's see here. Yeah, it's where they didn't open, but it's signed right in there. So always look at the clasps very closely. It's signed right there. And normally they're signed on the outside here, and they're signed here, and they're either signed here, and sometimes they're signed here. This one was not, and that's why they missed it. It was signed on that little kind of thumb clasp area. And so signed right in there, 14 karat, beautifully constructed. The way this is all wired together and strung on silk. Look at how large these are. They are natural, and let me show you why they're natural. Look at the imperfections. Look at that line on that one. Now, you don't want to see these on pearls. See how this is out of round? So the only reason why I knew that these were natural at first glance, I saw those imperfections. Surface and luster, you could grade these around maybe an A. So there's like an A, a double A, and a triple A. You could grade these around an A for luster. The color is wonderful. A steely white. Very steely white, looks as gray inside the light box, but outside in natural light they lean very white. Look at the luster and the color of that, almost greenish blue with pink overcast, but you could see these tiny little imperfections. When we look at pearls, we kind of expect some problems. The less blemishes and the better color, the better quality. I would say on this strand, I would put it out retail around $5,000. I would expect to get no less than $3,500, and I think some dealers would have this out at around $9,000. Now that's just basic and loose information. People might disagree with that. People might say, oh no, I would sell those for $1,500. And then another dealer would say, no, I would sell those for $18,000. Everyone is entitled to their opinion when it comes to pricing. I've never based my end price on just what I paid for something. Sometimes I base it on how long did it take me to find it? When am I going to find it again? What is the current desirability? What is the market in the near future? How bad do I need to pay bills this month? So there's a lot that goes into pricing. When you're a sole proprietor and you're in the resale business, a lot of people don't discuss this. It's almost like something that people don't like to talk about because it's uncomfortable sometimes, But for me, as long as I had enough money to pay my bills at the time, I would sometimes on something like this hold out for the potential money. But I was also a realist knowing that I always say, like Charlie Brown, waiting for the great pumpkin. Sometimes the great pumpkin doesn't come, and you could wait a lifetime to sell something, and that's not fair to the items. As far as I'm concerned, if they're bought for resale, that's, its job. You don't have a moving museum. There are some dealers that when you see them, they have the same merchandise every time they're set up, and it's expired merchandise. Everyone's already seen it. Enough of a lecture there, but let's, I'll show you the 3 strands of pearls together because you're probably saying, I wish you would have shown me all 3 together. So there you go. And look at the outstanding one. There's no denying that those are just absolutely exquisite. I love them very much. And origin, again, I'm just guessing on this strand because of the size and the quality. That's got to be South Sea. And then I'm still very convinced that those are both Tahitian on the outside. But you can see that, and see how these lean yellow? It's not a problem. That golden color is still acceptable. But sometimes with advanced collectors of pearls, it's kind of frowned upon, And I understand why. But that's beautiful on darker skin tones and with brunette hair. That is exquisite. This would be on fair complected, gray hair, silver hair, black hair, on these. So pearls are very, what do I say, almost specific to the wearer, and the quality. Oh, I just mixed up the bags that these go with. Okay, let me settle those back in. And thank you so much. I'm at 24 minutes, and I thought I was going to do this in no time. I'll pedal a little bit quicker. This is a turquoise and 14 karat gold ring. I show you this because turquoise is normally set in sterling. This one's solid 14 karat gold. This was bought at the Gilbert Ortega Gallery. And there were several locations, but this was bought in Scottsdale, Arizona. I think it was purchased in 2003, and back then, it was on sale for, I think it was like $795. If I went to replace this today, just 20 years later, I don't think I could get this for less than 2,000. And someone's out in Arizona right now watching this, and they're saying, "Oh, no, you can't get that for less than 3,000 now." Not sure exactly the mine on this, and I want to do some further research before I sell it. It looked like Lander Blue because of that kind of real splotchy matrix. It doesn't read as Lander Blue to me, but that definitely looks like a mine that's probably long since expired. So I have to look into that, but it's beautifully cast in 14 karat gold, and I loved the design. Half inlaid, half not. There's something there that was just really strong on the design of that. And that's going to be an easy sell, because when you get into artistry or something different, then it has a great tendency to sell very fast. Someone asked me to see some of the diamonds that I take to the shows. These are the more contemporary. And why I do these is they are very fast to sell, because when someone's getting engaged and they're looking at retail, this ring in the store would be $2,200 to $2,400, and I can sell this for about $700. 14 karat gold, gorgeous, gorgeous stones, really beautifully done, but I can beat retail by a mile. And a lot of smart shoppers are now coming to the resale markets, and they know that they can get a better deal than retail. And they always say there's no such thing as a used diamond. Well, I don't think there is. Diamonds are millions of years old, and you're going to say, "Oh, that's been used?" I don't quite understand that. It's been around for 1 million years or more, 3 million years. Who really knows the science of diamonds, by the way? What a fascinating stone. 4 very beautifully set and visibly set diamonds needs to be re-rhodiumed, but I bought this one very moderately. I think I spent maybe $400 or $450. That one's probably $900 based on, again, stone size. But if you go to the coast, either coast, that's going to be $1,500 to $2,000. And then this one, I love the deco design on this one, and I did like that pave. It looks very Art Deco in style. Anytime I could find something that was moderately priced, I think this was $200 or $250, 14 karat gold, and that's an easy sell at, oh boy, probably, that's an easy sell at $500. If I put that out at $500, they're not going to even ask me to go $450, So there's a definite double profit on that. And sometimes I double, sometimes I don't. I never really, I guess I should say, I just knew it would sell. This one's 18 karat gold, and I show you this one to show the quality of the stones. Anytime you see 18 karat gold, you're going to see better quality diamonds, at least you should. And that's beautiful. And look how thick and lovely the shank is. I loved the design of this. Once again, everyday wear. And I didn't have a lot of these in stock, so when I found that one so moderately priced at an estate sale, I jumped on it. I think this was an estate sale. So there's that one. Then we'll go into this one, and then we're almost done. I don't know why I panicked so bad. This one is sterling silver and diamonds. I believe there's about 3 carats of diamonds. When we see diamonds and silver, they're normally very poor quality. Not the case on this one. Some of them are less good than others, but in its in its totality, look at how extraordinary that is for dazzle and sparkle and big. Very reminiscent of the late 30s into the 40s of that kind of retro design. Sterling silver, I wish you could see the beauty of these stones. Very, very full of life, very well set, and always look at the craft of these pieces. Make sure those stones are so carefully prong set and then channel set where the baguettes are. Wish that would look better on camera, but boy, it is a knockout and a very large span. So the person that buys this maybe not bought one of the other ones. I try and include all different tastes, which brings me to this ring. So this is very avant-garde, very unusual. cool. 14 karat gold with this huge scrolled mounting. I think I showed this in a past video. I did take it to one show. It didn't sell, but guess what? It'll be a different crowd at the next sale. What I loved is how this swoops across the finger. Very dramatic, very beautiful jadeite stones. 14 karat yellow gold, completely hand fabricated. The artistry of this really tugged at my heart, and that's why I bought it. I bought it because of this amazing artistry, almost like wearable sculpture. And being taught at the university, we were taught conceptual as well as just design and materials. I loved the design, I loved the materials, but its aesthetic and its feeling, that feeling that you get from this was just wonderful. And I think that's late 50s, I would say into the late 50s. Yeah, late 50s, early 60s. And there's something about that whole energy that that stone has. Then we go into something a little bit more contemporary, but I always wanted to be invested in colored stones. Why I show this one is, this is tanzanite, yellow diamond, and white diamond in 18 and 14 karat white gold. And there's, again, something about that tanzanite. Is it the world's best and world's finest? No. Does it have the strong dichroic nature, or I should say bi-color of blue and purple and a good balance? Yes. Do you look at this and think sapphire? No. Do you look at this and think blue topaz? No. Do you look at this and think amethyst? No. You look at this and you immediately know this is a tanzanite. So anytime I went after a gemstone for either personal investment or resale, I wanted it to look its best. I wanted the best version I could find, and that was one of the best tanzanites I'd seen in a long time. Quality varies drastically. When we flip this over, always look at that undercarriage, like I said before. Very good craft, very good design, and that is absolutely gorgeous. Tanzanite's a little soft, so I always tell people if you get a ring, please be careful with it, because it's a very soft stone, and it's easily scratched. So it's better as a pendant than a ring, but if you wear it with care, it shouldn't give you any problem. May have shown this before, but it's ready, it's all cleaned up, it's ready for the show. Why I show this is colored stones and colored gemstones for me have been selling out very quickly. That goes in spurts. 6 months, I'll sell every colored stone I have, either in gold or silver, and then it'll go dry for a while. And then all of a sudden, someone will come into a show and say, hey, I'm looking for all, colored gemstones. I want blue, I want green, I want, this, I want that. It's all about colored stones instead of diamonds. This one is exceptionally well built. I think this might be designer. I don't remember who signed this one. Fantastic halo, fantastic shank system, and I love this open work filigree, almost false filigree on the sides, and on the finger, very large presence on the finger. So that is, again, exceptional. I think retail on that would be $1,500 to $1,800. I think out at my show, if I put $695 on it, $695 to maybe $750, it won't last long. That would be the checkerboard cut. And just look at the color and the quality of that. The whole thing says, the mounting says I'm important and the stone says I'm important. So that's ready to go. And then the last one for today, I have a couple other things set on the table, but I'm going to call it after this. This is a magnificent citrine. It's in 14 karat gold. I think I had this in a past video as well. I don't like to repeat myself in the videos. So if you've seen this before, please just excuse it. Very moderately priced. Gorgeous, gorgeous gem grade citrine. Very, very luxurious and elegant mounting. Very well constructed and completely handmade. So none of this was cast. This was all completely hand fabricated. So an artist so carefully soldered this together. Love this dramatic arch and the rope twist design. These very tall but very strong prongs. Look at that. Look at the side profile where they soldered those circles on. See, I get excited when I see these things, and look at the color zoning in the stone. I just noticed it. People have said to me, how can you tell if a citrine is natural? Look at the color zoning in there. See the color zoning right across that as I tip that? Now, if you look there, you don't see it. if you look there, you kind of see it. See where it's lighter and then darker? You don't see it much there, but when you turn it this way, look at that. There's that dramatic color zoning. Darker in the center with that radiating, almost like a rainstorm. And then look at lighter on the outside. That's a natural citrine. So look for color zoning in your stones. You don't want to see it dramatically, but when that's on the finger, see how it all blends out? You don't notice the color zoning. You don't see that in the stone. That's gone. So that is a beautiful example. And there's the moment I can leave you with, color zoning. Natural in citrine right there. I showed you an amethyst before that did that, and everybody said, thank you so much for showing us what to look for. Thank you so much for showing us some of your, tips and tricks that you've learned not being a certified gemologist. How I've grown my business over the last 28 years was on hard work. It was on countless hours of looking and touching, examining, taking my time. I learned way before Google. I learned way before AI. I learned way before cell phones. I learned way before I even had a flip phone, that had no internet connection, So I just say to yourself, immerse yourself in this world. Listen to your instincts. I always did. I don't know how you could go wrong if you take your time and look and learn. Go to the library, research in books, go to an antique show, go touch these beautiful things. You may not buy anything. You may not buy a single piece, but go and examine these pieces in real life so you can experience some of these things. And by the way, this has no gold hallmarks. This has no gold hallmarks. And as soon as I saw it, I said, that's 14 karat gold. And guess what? Brought it home, and it's solid 14 karat gold. Some people might say, oh, that looks like it's costume. Looks like it's gold plated. Looks like it's gold filled. Looks like it's rolled gold. Looks like it has a gold shell. No, absolutely not. Solid 14 karat yellow gold. But when you're around it enough, you kind of experience those things in those moments that you will never forget. Once you learn it, it's with you for life. So I thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that wasn't too much of a lecture series to end on. You know how I feel about all of you. Again, I have to be grateful, and I have to tell you how thankful I am, because I truly am. You've blessed me with the ability to come on and share the fancy shows and tells, the, me at my core. This is what I do. This is my joy in life, and I'm just so grateful, and I'm very lucky. I don't think I've ever used that term so far to explain this. I am very lucky, and I am very fortunate that you share this time with me and that you trust me. And I leave it with a very simple, I love you because I do.